Hello everybody and welcome to Car Confections. Now sitting beside me is the best-selling Genesis product. This is the 2026 Genesis GV70. This is only increasing in sales every single year, and they have heavily refreshed it this year to improve things like the lighting, and that's what we're going to be diving into in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as always, we'll go ahead and start by what happens as you approach the vehicle. We're not going to have any type of animations as you approach the vehicle. That being said, it does sense your approach, and when you get close enough, it will go ahead and fold the mirrors out. And then there's also a really cool Genesis puddle lamp that will appear on the ground itself. It really looks great, especially in a dark environment. And then you additionally have door handle lighting for all four of your doors. And then just reach behind it to unlock. When you unlock the door, you'll notice that, of course, the interior comes to life. There's a lot of lighting in there, a lot of improved lighting for 2026 as well. So we're going to be talking about that, but first let's go ahead and start with the exterior so you can see what that looks like all fired up. So let's take a look at the exterior. Now this vehicle is pretty beautiful in its overall exterior design. That's going to continue for 2026. Genesis hasn't really messed too much with success, so we have our big crest grille up here in the front. We have the fully loaded Sport Prestige model, and in terms of lighting, that is a big focus for this vehicle when it comes to the refresh. So what they've done is swap out the headlight unit. Now it's the same overall shape as what it was before, but the internals have been switched out. So we have these really cool multi-beam crystal LEDs. Not only does this really look fantastic, it stands out as being very expensive looking. It also is really improved in terms of overall lighting. I'll give you an example of what that looks like on a country road when we get inside, but these are absolutely fantastic headlights. As you can see, this is the low beam right here. The high beam will just make those individual pixels brighter, and then you have your daytime running light through the center section as well as your turn signal indicator. If you'd like to see what the turn signal indicator looks like at nighttime, it's going to be the nice amber color, and that's over here on this headlight. Overall, it definitely stands out at nighttime, and you won't mistake it for anything else. Now, walking around for the fully loaded Sport Prestige, we are going to have 21-inch alloy wheels as well as Genesis Brembo brakes. And then pertinent to a night review would be your mirrors features. So we do have heating and blind spot monitoring, of course. We have the turn signal indicator, but really nice for a night review is the fact that we have auto dimming, and it's not just on the driver's side, it's also on the passenger side, and that's included on all but the very base model. So if you choose really almost any GV70, you'll have the auto dimming on both sides, which is something that we see, kind of skimped out on cars that even cost $100,000. Now at the side, you have that beautiful rear drive proportion, 185 inches in overall vehicle length. And by the way, if you want to learn all about this car, the specs and figures and all the features, be sure to watch our full-length YouTube review that is already on YouTube, that we cover all of that in the daytime. This is going to be focused mainly on the lighting, so you can see what that looks like at nighttime. Now here in the back, we have that signature Genesis look. Pretty classy and elegant look to it overall. So we have the nice double brake light unit through here. It's going to be a full LED setup, as you can see. And then over here on this tail light, this is your turn signal indicator. It's also going to have that nice red color to it overall. Dropping down, you'll have LED license plate lighting. And then let's go ahead and check out the cargo area and see how that illuminates at nighttime. Now, we have the cargo area pretty much filled up with cat litter. I'm a cat dad, I guess you could say, but there is a lot of space back here, about 57 cubic feet of space. And pertinent to a night review is the fact that we have a lot of LED lighting here on the side, so that's really going to illuminate everything back here and make it visible at nighttime. But I'm sure you're very curious as to what the interior is going to look like on this GV70 and all the improved lighting. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from our long-term vehicle videos to our side-by-side comparisons, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, so what happens as I approach the vehicle? As you can see, when I unlock it, all of the lights are going to go ahead and turn on, so you're not going to be getting into some type of dark environment or anything like that. It's going to be nice and illuminated even here at nighttime. As you can see, we have a lot of dome lighting up here in the top. That's going to really cast a nice LED lit area for you to get inside, and then all of your ambient lighting also turns on. Go ahead and hop inside. If you can see it, we actually do have a blue interior on this one with some orange accents. This is the ultramarine blue interior, so it's very cool looking even at nighttime. Shutting up the door. Let's go ahead and start it up. Now the headlights fade in when you start the vehicle up. They don't have any fancy dancing or anything like that, but they do fade in to give you that nice premium feel. Now let's switch into a first-person perspective so we can dive into some of the individual details. So what you're seeing right now is just the standard low beams on. And as I was kind of talking about on the outside, they've updated these headlights and they've made them a lot better for 2026. As you can see, the low beam is nice and bright. And if I click on the high beam there, we have a super bright high beam. I'll go ahead and insert a clip of us driving down a country road with this headlight setup, but these are A+ headlights. We look at a lot of cars on this channel, and just because it's a luxury car doesn't mean it has good headlights, but this model certainly does have the really good headlights. It also has auto high beams, and they work quite well. You'll additionally notice that this fully loaded example has the head-up display. It has a ton of information in it, and it looks crystal clear at nighttime. Kind of coming back to the main screen itself, you will notice that we have the new updated 27-inch OLED screen setup. This is a really beautiful looking display. Really the highest resolution screen that I've honestly ever seen in a vehicle. It looks fantastic at nighttime. As expected, you have a ton of customizability for the gauge cluster, and you also have things like your blind spot camera system. That also does not look very grainy at nighttime, so I'm happy that it's not grainy or anything like that when it comes to the blind spot camera system. Now, moving back to the steering wheel itself, we have a new design for the GV70 this year. It's going to have the white buttons here on the side, a leather airbag cover, and then you also have this touch capacitive panel to control things in the screen, rain sensing wipers, and the steering wheel is power tilt and telescoping. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the lighting that you're going to find in the GV70. So one of the areas that they improved this model was in the ambient lighting. So ambient lighting is standard on every version, so even the base model is going to have this ambient lighting set up. As you can see, it goes all the way through the door trim, across the dashboard, past the screen, and then back onto the other door trim. Definitely a lot of really nice ambient lighting. It casts a very nice hue on there, and it's actually not just like a light strip, it's kind of like being cast down onto this trim piece. Looks really fantastic. In addition to that, we have an ambient light strip going through the center tunnel here that's also being kind of cast down, as well as in places like our glass shifter. Those are all going to have ambient lighting inside, and it does change depending on what drive mode you're in, as well as the gear that you select. You have a lot of different colors as well that you can select, and then we have footwell lighting down here as well, so you can see where your feet are even at night. All of our window switches are going to be this nice metal trim, and they're illuminated nice white color at nighttime, as well as things like your memory seats, and then you have a few more buttons over here on the left hand side. Now, let's go ahead and show you what some of the different ambient lighting looks like as far as colors. All you have to do is kind of scroll down into the light setting. You can hit ambient lighting. You have a ton of different color options. These are just kind of your preset options, but you can also do things like set custom colors. So you have the entire color wheel that you can, go through and select depending on what you want. Here's an example what the blue looks like. I really like all the ambient lighting colors. Let's do maybe the green. That's nice and unique here for this interior. Now, Opening up the center console, one thing I'm happy to see, guess what? We have illumination inside of there. A lot of luxury brands don't put illumination in the center console. Wireless phone charging pad, carbon fiber trim all through here. Speaking of the shifter, twist to D for drive, R for reverse. As you can see, the shifter changes colors when it goes into reverse. I love the details like that. Here's your 360-degree camera system. Extremely high resolution in the daytime, and that continues at nighttime. It's not even slightly grainy. This is one of the very best 360 cameras out there. Press the P for park. You have this control knob as well that will allow you to touch or not touch the screen if you don't want to. And then here's your new climate panel. This is a new addition for 2026. The screen on this is also very high resolution. You have things like heated and ventilated seats in there, as well as your heated steering wheel, although you still retain a physical climate knob, so you can adjust the temperature real easy. Audio-wise, you have a really fantastic Bang & Olufsen audio system. It's 16 speakers, one of the best systems out there that we have experienced, especially in this segment. And then let's quickly take a look at the main infotainment screen. This is pretty much your typical Genesis software. It runs wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. The resolution, absolutely fantastic. You're going to love this at nighttime. And one of the cool things about this vehicle is the fact that the background actually matches with what it is. So if it's raining outside, it's going to be a storm cloud in the background. If it's at nighttime, you're going to have the nighttime, and then if it's in the daytime, you'll have like a sunball. So some pretty cool details going on when it comes to the screen itself. And if I pop open the glove box, we have some more LED illumination in there, as well as more LED footwell lighting. Up top, we have an auto-dimming interior mirror, HomeLink garage door openers. And then here's a look at your main panel up here. You have a sunglass holder, which is pretty rare nowadays. And then you can turn on all of your interior lighting by pressing that button right there. We have a nice suede headliner as well. And then for your sun visor, you additionally have LED lighting. So throughout the vehicle, you have full LED lighting, which is, I think, important for a luxury vehicle, and the Genesis GV70 definitely nails that. Let's check out the back seats and see if there's cool ambient lighting back here as well. Before you get in there, we have some LED dome lights that will cast down, so it's super easy to see where you're going at nighttime getting inside. Shutting up the door, give you a full interior view so you can see what this new interior looks like. Then as far as features, we have our own climate zone back here, heated back seats as well. All these are going to be in a nice white illumination. We have illuminated USB ports and a household outlet. So, they've done the details, illuminated things like the USB ports here in the back. And then let's look at the door trim. So as you can see, we have that same ambient lighting strip that goes through the door trim, just like the front. I wish I could say that some, luxury brands don't cheap out on stuff like that, but certainly a lot of the luxury brands do cheap out and don't give you ambient lighting in the back. Happy to see it here on the GV70. You also have illumination for your door handle, as well as things like your window switch. So overall, when it comes to this GV70's interior cabin lighting, I think they've really nailed it. For this segment, you have a ton of ambient lighting. It feels expensive. It feels customizable as well. So I think they've really done a great job. And guys, that wraps up our night review of the refreshed 2026 Genesis GV70. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. And if you're looking to buy a Genesis GV70 or any new vehicle, we'd encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes to get the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool to use while negotiating. If you'd like to take advantage of that, as well as things like our monthly payment tool, you can find a link to that in our video description, as well as a pinned comment down below. Once more, I'd like to remind you that we do have a daytime review where we go over all the details of this exact model. You won't want to miss out on that, so be sure to check that video out. And, of course, check out tons of other automotive content on our channel. If you're already a fan and subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies. Good night.